Wednesday the 16th today of March, episode 147. There's a very good reason for that, and I'm going to tell you what it is just in a moment. And very good to have you along. And yes, I'm still here and we're still epic sailing and it is all just going along swimmingly. But it is a great day today and I've got friends. I do like doing these things with friends and I've got the fabulous Libby here from Truly Myrtle.
Hi.
Hey, Libs.
How are you?
I'm good, yeah. And I'm throwing everybody out by doing this on a Wednesday. I threw you out because we were booked to do this tomorrow.
I know, it threw me out as well. I'm used to my Thursday slot, so
I know. And the reason for that is because we were just saying literally, good morning, Pauline, good morning, everyone. It was my birthday yesterday. Thank you to Bronwyn for blowing my cover on the Skeinz Speakeasy. And thank you to everyone that signed the lovely digital card that Bronwyn put up on the Speakeasy for us. That was fabulous. The big 50. I'm in the club now, mate.
In the club, yeah. I turned 50 last year in November.
Yeah.
I quite liked it, this 50.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
I know. And it's amazing. It's amazing the things that you learn. Like I popped up a private post this morning, but it's amazing what you learn, as each decade passes. And so, the old term older and wiser is certainly, I think, very, very apt. So it'll be interesting to see what I learn, this next.
The next 50.
Yeah.
That's what I tell my kids. I'm going to be here till I'm about 120, so get used to it. I know. Yeah, I think.
Exactly. Thank you, Charles. Charles Gandy says hello. And he says,
how are you?
Yeah, so good to see everyone. So I thought we would get you on and have a good catch up because we have just put your pattern leaflets up, which is great because that got them out of your cupboard into my cupboard.
It did, and I thought I'd show people because I've still got some of the accessory ones here, which I haven't done anything with yet. But I thought it would be good just to show them what was inside the packet.
Yeah, well, that's a great idea.
What was coming, and my doors for wardrobe toolbox open on Friday, so I thought we could
talk. Yeah, we could definitely talk a bit about that. Yeah, so the patterns have been going great guns. We've actually, I'll just check. I think we've already. I'm just going to have a quick look, see how we're.
Comments. Charles says he's got 2 more on you, so just imagine what you've learned.
See, that's why you're so wise, Charles.
That's the thing. And Delene's aiming for 150. Good aim, Delene.
Good on you, Delene. Good on you. I know. I mean, I am for many of you. I've had so many say to me, "You're such a spring chicken." It's like I know that. I do know that, but it only just seems like yesterday that I was having 40. So hence the reason for moving everything like today. Yes, tomorrow to today is my best friend. So we celebrated so he's exactly 10 years older than I am. So we celebrated our 40-50 together and we're celebrating our 50-60 together.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah. And so his 60 is next month, but he, talking to him on Sunday night, he just was like, stuff it. I'm going to come down for the weekend. Come see you. So he flies in tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. So that's the reason.
That'll be really fun.
It will be fun. I've managed to get a free pass from Claire. She that keeps me
on the straight and narrow.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to have a big party for my birthday last year, but we were all locked up. So I still want to have a party with music and dancing and food and all of these things. So one day I might have a party. I've been saying it for a long time, but
I know. We've sort of we're kind of thinking we might try and do something next month. It's all right. We'll get there. I'm very much of the opinion we will get there eventually, so it'll be good. So that's it. But yes, we've got plenty of patterns with the exception of kapua. That's the one that. But everything else is trucking along, which is awesome. So
and all garments. You've got all the garment patterns.
We took all the garments at this stage, and if it all sort of goes tiggity boo, we'll probably end up with all the accessories. Right. In fact, we had one accessory one when we dug around. There was one that we bought like 1 million years ago, the Zelda. Because that was done in the Bohemia. So that I've just put that one up this morning as well because we had those there. So do go and check those out if you're like it, because actually you've got one there and I've
got one here. I thought I'll show you because these are the ones that I sell at the shows and things, and I haven't got them on my website, although I need to get around to that. I haven't got shipping capabilities for things at this stage, so that's why Marie's got them all. But I thought I'd show you. I've got some of the shawl and accessory ones. Marie's got the garment ones, and they're the little A5 size prints, and it's a good little size actually, because they kind of slide into your knitting bag, and they all come in a little plastic sleeve, so they're nice and clean. But inside, they're like a booklet. They're a little stapled booklet. And some of you will have seen these before and others won't. So they have the nice cover on the front, and then this on the back, so you can read what you need, is all on the back. So you don't have to open anything before you get started. And it's got the little schematic of the garment or shawl. Now, the thing I like about that is that's how I block it. So it gives you a good idea if you're wanting to know how to lay things out or how to block them. There's your idea for you. That's how to do it. It gives you some blurb about the pattern. And then this is all of the stuff you need: needles, yarn, the little skill guide. And there's a little post on my website about skill and what I expect for every ball. But that's all on the back, so you can find it in one spot. And then the directions the abbreviations on the printed patterns are in the front. So they're easy to find, all the abbreviations you need for the pattern. I mix that up. So for my digital patterns that you buy online, that page and that page are swapped over. So you just have to remember they're around the other way for digital. But and then they goes into the directions, and you can just work through the directions page by page. Usually, depending on how it goes, there's usually photos in there as well. It all is how many pages I can get in, because they all have to be a multiple of 4. You know, there's so many things to think about when you're making flyers. But what I do is I also put the little charts in. So anything that has a chart will have them printed in the back of the pattern as well. So they're nice and easy to follow. The paper's nice and glossy. It's just a little bit thicker than usual paper, so it's a little bit substantial. And in the garment patterns, this last page in the garment patterns has the full measurements for you. So it's the finished measurements. Don't forget, it's not the measurements of you. They're the measurements of the pattern. And I do them in inches and centimeters. And then they just have a little schematic, which is this. Oh, where did I put it again? This on the back that has measurements and a diagram on the back. And then it has the measurements underneath. Yeah. So that's the garment patterns, look like that. So they're just nice and easy to hold. Yeah. They can be up to about 16 pages, the thicker garment patterns, but most
some of them are quite substantial actually. We noticed that because Cara, who works for me, she's gone and put them all in sleeves and sorted them all to make them easy to pick. And we noticed that some were really substantial.
Some are fatter than others, and so they're all the same price, that's irrespective of the size. But most are between about 8 and 12. Most is kind of in that range. But every now and then you have one that's just a quickie, and every now and then you have one that has more charts or more instructions, and they go to the bigger size, the fatter pattern.
Who do you draw your own schematics? Who does those for you?
Well, sometimes I do. Sometimes one of my daughters does, or my son does, draws them. Or sometimes if I'm short of time, I've flick them off to my graphic designer that helps me out. She designed the kind of layout for me of my pattern. And so it just depends how much time, but they're really fun. They are really fun to draw. I like the little hand sketch of them. So it just depends whether my kids are keen. They've taken that job on lately and depends how busy they feel. It depends on whether or not they will do them for me. But I'm a very kind mother, so I actually pay them to do them.
Charles wants to know when you sleep. Never is the answer to that, Charles. I learned that years ago.
Don't do sleeping anymore, Charles. It's terrible.
I know. Look, we've it's been so great to have these, because that's the thing. We've got a lot of we've got the wonderful Lisa F patterns, which covers us for kids and babies, but having adult patterns, as I said to you when we organised these, has always been a whole. So judging by how well these have gone, across the winter we'll be pulling down some of the accessory patterns as well.
Cool. So that's good. I'll have all those. Yeah,
it'll be really cool. But wardrobe toolbox, God, every time it just seems. I mean, it seems fast for me. It must be lightning fast for you.
Lightning for me, because I work on a monthly, this rolling month, and so I'm always like, oh my gosh, it's the end of the month again, or it's we had our question and answer session this morning, and it's like, this is the last question and answer session of season 4. I can't believe it. But it's been really, really fun. So we've just wrapping up season 4. and we're rolling into season 5. And that all starts in April, but the doors open so you can join on Friday.
Lovely.
And so they open every time. It's always the 18th of March or the 18th of September. Those are the 2 times, and the doors stay open for 10 days. So you can just join just those 2 times a year. So you can join. You can leave anytime, but you can join only twice a year. So yeah, the doors open on Friday for season 5. And actually, you just mentioned Lisa, and she's coming on as one of our masterclass guests in season 5. So I've been chatting to her, and it'll be fun. I'm going to do I'm going to go revisiting some of our fit, and we were talking today about set-in sleeves and things, some of those fun techniques. But we're also going to just venture ourselves out a little bit into a few more interesting knitting techniques. We're going to sort of tiptoe into knitting for children and maybe thinking about men and things like that in season 5. So we're going to have a bit of a play around. It should be quite a good season.
Well, there are, and there's some really interesting things, like particularly with children too, with children and fit, because there's, a lot more latitude with children. But there's also, and I know I've had I wrote an article a few years ago, and I know Creative Fibre published it, and was published somewhere else, and it was around one of the things, having a sensory child, as I've got, is actually knitting for somebody who has sensory issues. So making sure, and usually people will think instantly about the yarn, and they'll say, "Oh, as long as it's a soft yarn, it's okay." And it's like, well, actually, yes and no. You've also got to consider things like the design, so how tight fitting it is. So some kids really like something very firm fitting. That'll be, you guys may remember, if you've had a child or a grandchild that really loves to be swaddled quite firmly, will quite like the feeling of quite firm clothing. But then you have others who don't like things clinging, so you have to have lots of ease in there. Necklines was a big one for me. So I had a son who just would not tolerate anything around his neck. Nothing there. So I did a million Milo vests, because
that'd be a good one. That's low square
neck. And of course, and a vest, that just came to here, so there was nothing touching sort of around his arm, so that and there was all those sorts of considerations as well, and you don't often think about it. You sort of think,
that's true. And even just different temperaments in kids, I can see that just coming out as well. Kids that get really hot, some of those kids, they're just all hot and sweaty. Well, no sleeves are way better for them. But also length. I think length is another thing. Some of my kids loved it when I tucked them in their jammies up to their armpits, so they're all like a little parcel, and others of them are like, get the freaking jammy top out, I don't want to be tucked in. So that whole length thing and tight is also,
and sleeve length too. If they did sleeves, I found too, for me, I would never do, for one of the boys, it never went beyond sort of that sleeve length. Whereas the other son, he was fine, he could go normal. So all those little subtleties that so, and those are interesting things to dive into. And then, as you were saying, sort of looking at stuff into men, and you've got the classic iteration of in terms of knitting with men, but then you've got someone like Ethan, who is able to sort of bust through, and he knits right across the gender spectrum, but makes adjustments for his masculine shape, No,
it's fascinating. So I'm looking forward to exploring some of those things this season as we go in, and just a few more fun things. Anyway, it's all just tucked under my hat at the moment, but it'll all become clear as we go along. So what we do with Wardrobe Toolbox is it's a little bit of a surprise every month. I think it's nice to have a bit of a surprise. So at the beginning of the month, I'll announce to you, this is the lesson for the month. We always have an opportunity to ask questions about it. So what we did today, we have an hour once a month where everyone just sends me all their questions or brings them to the live video, and I can just sit through and I can talk things through much more slowly and a little more depth, and I can show you things on the screen, so that the question and answer sessions are really fun. And then every month we have a guest, at least one guest. Sometimes we have more than one guest, and we have a masterclass session. So someone will come in like Lisa, We've got a British designer coming this month to talk all about making our own stitch patterns. She's coming in March. So there's someone will come in and throw us a lesson, which is really, I enjoy those immensely because I can just sit back and enjoy it with everybody. And then sometimes we have like a bonus session. So we've got Bonnie from Union Fibre coming again this month to talk all about handmade wardrobes because, you know, she's just like effortlessly stylish.
Yeah.
And she has these incredible handmade wardrobes and she's really excited to talk a bit more about putting her handmade wardrobe together. So we do all sorts of things in there. And then we always wrap the month up with a knit night. And we have a virtual knit night. And those are really, really fun, actually, because people get a chance to jump on the screen. There's no pressure to jump on the screen. They're not recorded. So those ones are not recorded. So nobody has to see you on the screen. But it's lovely. It's a lovely opportunity to sort of stumble across things that you didn't know you were going to stumble across before you started. So people will jump on the screen and they'll tell everyone what they're working on. And I can ask them questions and we can all ask questions and they can explain things. And you get to see different techniques and different yarns and different iterations of patterns. And I really enjoyed the knit night. So for the people that join for season 5, this next 10 days, they will have the opportunity to come and join us for the final knit night of season 4. So they'll get a taste of the knit night before we even begin season 5. But yeah, it's really fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. The so trulymyrtle.com and you just go to the wardrobe toolbox link. So when does that goes live? Friday morning? Friday
morning it'll all go live. So you can just go straight to wardrobetoolbox.com and you can get on the mailing list. And if you're on that, I'll tell everybody through my mini mag anyway on Friday when it's live. But I also have a specific list for people that want to be on the Wardrobe Toolbox list. And then you don't have to be signed up to my mini mag as well. And then, so that you can get notified through there. So Charles is saying, can I explain what it is? So basically, Charles, it's an online school. That's kind of the simplest way to describe it. So I have this online school. It's called Wardrobe Toolbox. And it's all about it's all about, well, you do a little bit of designing yourself though. It's all about figuring out what size fits you or how to modify patterns to make them fit you better, because there is no such thing as one size fits all. We have this off the rack idea. Well, everyone knows that off the rack is you just have to have what comes, right? Couture is the way to go. So this is our opportunity to make modifications so that they fit us. Our garments fit us perfectly. We do a lot of learning about different yarns to understand how yarn is going to behave. We talk about needles. We talk about gauge. We do talk about gauge quite a bit. We talk about different techniques and putting all of these things together. So it's really fun. We talk a lot about creating a handmade wardrobe, a whole look. And quite a lot of the wardrobe toolboxes are sewers. Not everybody's a sewer, but there are quite a lot of sewers. And it's a really lovely opportunity to be with other people. There are about 1,000 people that are in the membership altogether. And it's a really nice opportunity just to be around a group of people that understand your passions and really love to make clothes like you do. And we make accessories, and we had someone talk about jewelry and making bras and all sorts of things. So it's quite all-encompassing. It's really like my dream scenario of making clothes. Well, I've just sort of pulled it all together, but it's really fun. And it runs in 6-month seasons. So they run from April through to September and then October through to March. And we've just wrapped up season 4. When you join, you pay a monthly fee to join. And so you pay that every month. You can leave at any point if you want to. I know times are tight for people at the moment. So you do have the opportunity to leave after, just a few months. Once you leave, you lose access to all of the stuff inside. It's a bit like Netflix. So while you're paying your monthly subscription, you have access to all your bits and pieces, but you can download everything. I have lots of PDFs every month. There's patterns. You get a pattern every second month within the program. So you can pull all those out and take those with you when you go. But we arrange it so it's 6-month blocks, and we have these 6 months that roll on, and then we wrap up and we do another 6 months. Yeah, it's up to you what you use, Jan. Exactly. So, I mean, if you don't have to believe everything I say or even like everything I say in there. You take what works for you and you just leave the rest. I really feel strongly about encouraging you to make stuff yours, and to have an understanding about how things are going to behave, because I think when you understand what the outcome is going to be, you're less likely to have a disappointment, and you're less likely to be surprised at the end. It's up to you to, it just gets that knowledge about, oh, okay, so that's a woolen spun yarn, it's going to do this, or if I join these yarns together, it's going to do that. And when you know that, you can literally take patterns, you can treat patterns like blueprints and then change them up entirely and use, one pattern 6 ways and have entirely different pieces out of it. And I love it when people do that. One of the things I'm doing this time that's slightly different to before, to other seasons, is that previously I've let people purchase all of the old seasons when they join. And so then they have access to the old material. What I did last time is I bundled the best of Wardrobe Toolbox into a big bundle. And this time, because it's just getting enormous to purchase all the other seasons, what I've decided now is just to offer the best of Wardrobe Toolbox. So when you join for the monthly subscription, you will be offered the chance to buy the best of Wardrobe Toolbox. And again, it's just access to that bundle of stuff. I might change things up a little bit for season 6. I'm just trying to work out what my new iteration of Wardrobe Toolbox will be, because we've grown, it's changed and it grows. But at the moment, we've got the best of, and I actually bought the patterns from the best of Wardrobe Toolbox just to show you. Oh, it's like a bumper. It's way bigger than your average season. It's a bumper season. I can't even remember how many lessons and classes are in it, and you just pay a one-off fee for it. But I thought I'd show you what was in it. So the first one is this little top that I'm wearing, which is called Sesha, and it's a little top. It's a raglan. It has this pretty little detail down the shoulder. It's as you can see, it's like a half sleeve. It has a slight A-frame to it, and it's this nice little fingering yarn with a lovely scoop.
It looks like, what sort of the yarn looks? Is it a woolen spun? What is it? It looks.
It's actually one of Helene's from Happy Go Knitty. It's the Yank Silk Merino. So it's quite a glamorous little in between piece. But I mean, you can knit this, and as we talk about in the Wardrobe Toolbox itself, you can knit this in all manner of yarns and make it yours. Some people have put long sleeves on it. Some people have put shorter sleeves on it. You can change the neck up. We learn how to do that. So yeah, it's a nice little kind of in-between piece. So that's the new pattern that's just been thrown into the best of bundle, because I thought it was the best of from the last ones. We've got shawls. Actually, I've got a shawl in there too. This is the Haven shawl. Now, I've just released Haven to the public. So if you haven't purchased it there, it is available in Wardrobe Toolbox. It's a lovely big shawl. And the reason I've got that in the best of is because I do a lot of lessons around fixing lace. And fixing lace is something that can be quite challenging. And I've included this because some of the lessons go through how to fix lace if you've made a really big boo-boo, how to kind of get all our pins and spread it all out. And I just take you through step by step on fixing lace and also blocking and those sorts of things.
And that fixing lace is also important as well, because it may also be being able to, like in terms of being able to sew things at, so it could not only be a mistake, but also a repair.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And it's really useful for garments or for shawls. It just happens that I've done it in that shawl. I've got another little summer top in here, which is Urchin, which I know a lot of people have loved this top. They've made it lots of times. And this one is like a nice little plant-based fiber. It has the little drop sleeve, just a little tiny sleeve in it. And we do a lot of lessons around this one with changing up the neckline. So that was quite a fun one. And also figuring out how to find what fit we wanted for this and what size to make. So Urchin is in there as well. Some of these have been released to the public, but some haven't. So those two have been released to the public. This one hasn't yet. We've got this deliciously cozy cardigan called Outlaw, which is in Outlaw yarn. It's in Bohemia worsted, and it's shedding a little bit, but it's one of those big, sloppy, endlessly big collars that flip over.
It's a gorgeous cocoon cardigan. It's so lovely.
Yeah, I really love this one. So it's been screwed up in my room, but this one has been really fun. So that one is in there too, and that's not out yet either. That's just an exclusive to Wardrobe Toolbox.
And that one too, I think you used with Bohemia and Bohemia Light double stranded together.
That's right, I did too. Yes, I used the Bohemia worsted for the body, and then I used the Bohemia Light for the collars and the sleeves. Yeah, it was really fun actually mixing those two up. I really quite enjoyed that whole idea. Some people in the wardrobe toolbox made it holding a yarn double with a mohair for the body,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then they did different colours. People have put stripes in the sleeves. I love watching all the differences that
Yeah, I've seen some. I know that Deb also does all that fabulous hedgehog, and being able to do a hedgehog with a mohair and that, fabulous.
Stunning. So there's a couple of videos that go with that pattern in there that are all about yarn. There's a lot of talking about yarn and various things to do with that particular pattern. So it's quite useful just to kind of have a fullness around the pattern. You don't just get lumped with the instructions. It's nice to have everything. Maudie is another one that's in there, and this is in one of your yarns. This is in Chatswood, and it's a deliciously classic cardie. So it's a nice little top-down set and sleeve. It's got this faux cable in it, and then it also has that running down the sleeves, and then it has little garter cuffs at the bottom. So Maudie is one of those classic winter cardies. I really have enjoyed that one. So that one's in there too. That's also not out yet. And then finally, got some socks in there, Lodestone socks. So we did quite a lot of work around socks and fit. Strangely, it's really good to get a good fit for your socks. So we talked about different toes. We talked about heels. There will be more socks coming inside Wardrobe Toolbox because they're a fun little thing to learn techniques on. But Lodestone socks are also available at the moment. So
here I say this while you're sitting there holding up socks and you're talking about things, Charles, just saying.
Charles. I know. Actually, I saw Charles's name and I was like, that's right. Good morning, Charles. I'll write to you.
Okay, Charles, she'll be in touch.
I will, indeed. There'll be more socks. Yay. So it's kind of like it's a little bit of a lifestyle. It's just a nice little lifestyle approach to our knitting that, I love it anyway. I enjoy it. So I need to do more sewing, though. I spend so much time knitting. I need to do a little bit more sewing, but it's really fun. And so the doors open on Friday, and you're just more than welcome to join us and come and see what it's like inside. We have a whole platform where we chat amongst ourselves. And unlike the Hangout, the Truly Myrtle Hangout on Facebook, where you just talk about Truly Myrtle patterns, in the Wardrobe Toolbox Lounge, we can talk about all of the patterns. Doesn't matter, they don't have to be Truly Myrtle patterns. So it's a nice place to sort of let your hair down and really talk about knitting. And it's a bit your Skeinz speakeasy is similar.
Yeah.
But it's really nice.
Great. We it's one of the things that it was always a decision, like when we did the speakeasy, do we just do it Skeinz? And of course we want people obviously to talk about our stuff, but at the token, at the time that I set it up, there wasn't actually really a group that was centered around a business that was actually completely open and free. And so that's why we did that, because we just wanted to actually have I like to call it it's a haven. It's a haven for people to actually go and retreat and we've got so many people that we love talking about. I mean, loads of people cross post between the out there and the hangout and the Happy Go Nitty group and the Hoolies group, and all sort of, because we all share the same patterns, we all share the same loves, we all we all support each other along the way. And I think it's just a really, really nice thing to be able to do. And it's something that I know that I defend quite vigorously, because I just want that group to be able to stay.
I agree with you, and I love the idea of it being a haven. That's exactly what I feel about both the hangout and the lounge. It's like, it doesn't, you can just escape and you can come in here and you can just indulge in all of the yarn and all of the knitting and all of the handmade goodness that you want to. And for me, it's a lifeline. It really is a little piece of sanity where you can just relax and share that thing that all brings us together, thing that unites us. I love focus.
And you'll see it too. I love it because I mean, we're not always available to give advice all of the time. And that's what I love about those communities is that if somebody has struggled with some knitting, you've got a friend. I know, struggle with some knitting, they can go in and you can get that advice and there'll be somebody there. And also too, there's different opinions that roll around. Like some people love certain yarns and it can get quite, not heated, but lively,
it's great for the brain. So good to get your brain ticking, right? I mean, we're having at the moment, we had Ethan come on a wardrobe toolbox last month to talk to us about seaming. And so he was, espousing the virtues of seamed garments.
He is
mad about seaming.
Absolutely.
And so it was really good. And so now we have this I have the challenge of, oh my goodness, now I'm going to have to do a seamed garment, aren't I? I really will. But also this whole kind of debate between seamed, unseamed. How much can we make an unseamed garment like a seamed garment? And, it's really fun. So, I love all that. Just keeps your brain ticking away and gets you stretching you into thinking about new things.
Yeah, and I think the whole seaming debate, because of course that's something him and I have talked about the whole seaming thing a lot, both privately and publicly. And it's funny because I did a seamed project almost a year ago now, and actually for the friend that's coming down, I did for his birthday last year, I did a full Aran, classical Aran from Interweave 2017, and it was seamed complete with inset saddle shoulder. I mean, if you're going to do it, Libby, classic. And all, mate. Classic and all. And I forgot how much I enjoyed. I actually like seaming too. I'm like Ethan. I'm one of these strange beasts. And you also, particularly around so it had a cable, a thick cable down here in the saddle, plus saddle set-in sleeve. Oh, actually no, saddle raglan, saddle set-in, saddle raglan.
Okay,
but there was a structure there, like a firmness that the seam gave, particularly within that Aran sweater, which carries weight to it, with all that crossing backwards and forwards of stitching, you get a lot more weight in the garment. And it just gave it this, and when it was finished, it had this beautiful shape.
Yeah, it was.
And I did, they said, 2 full mattress, so I did the full mattress. So you've got this almost like a structured shoulder placed in there from the seaming, and it was an effect that you would only get from the seaming, and you forget that,
Yeah, you do. And I think that's one of the things that I like about seamless is that often I want to wear pieces like this, which are soft and they curve around your body, and to me it has a slight femininity to it that I really enjoy wearing. Soft drapey clothes, and but not too soft and drapey always, but and to me this seamless really gives me an opportunity to indulge in some of that much softer look to things. But I am, when I think about a seamed garment that I might do, in my head it's something like a cable raglan, where it's that classic kind of look where you actually, it would really benefit from some of the detailing you can create with the seams. And anyway, my brain is going there. Think about it.
No, it's fun. So just I popped the link up in the thing, but wardrobetoolbox.com is .com is where you can sign up for that, so do make sure you do that. The doors open on Friday, and it is loads and loads of fun. In terms of epic sale, I have had these dip and mixes which I popped up yesterday, and this one arrived today. So once I get off the phone from you, I'm going to be photographing these. Look at that little beauty.
Oh, look at that. That looks groovy.
It is very, very groovy. So this one is number 5, Dip and Mix 5. So this one will be going up. This one will be going up today along with these 2.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes, like your colours. I've enjoyed watching all the combos of things coming through on the emails.
Yeah, so these will be definitely going up. So I'm going to get these all done and dusted. I'll tell them, sorry. And I need to get going so I can do all this sort of stuff. So we're going to be doing that. So do watch out. I'm going to try and poke out another newsletter today. And then I'll also, I'll pre-do some newsletters so I can go off and do my catch up with my friends. So thank you so much for coming for a short visit. Thank you everybody for joining us today on a Wednesday. I know we've thrown you out. I will be back again on Monday. The other thing I want to remind everyone too, while I can, is that this is the last chance for a lot of yarns, because they will be going up. We're having, unfortunately, price increases from April 1. I know inflation is all the hot buzzword at the moment, and just like petrol, unfortunately, and also in a way because of petrol, some of our yarns are also having to go up as well. So not too drastically, but if you're wanting to do a little bit of stash stocking because you know that you've got things coming up, this is a really good time to do it. During the epic sale, and it all finishes Sunday night at midnight, our time, New Zealand time. Yeah. So until then, I will talk to you. I will catch up with you guys though on Monday. Thanks, Lib, and don't disappear. And good to see everybody, and have a great rest of week. Take care.
See you later, everybody. It was lovely to see you. Bye. Thanks, Marie.